Hey everyone, and thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Justin, and today the Toronto Maple Leafs literally just announced that we signed Morgan Rielly to an 8-year, $7.5 million deal. This is going to be an extremely quick video, but wanted to get it out there, just immediate thoughts. First thought, that was out of nowhere. I hadn't heard any rumors in the news whatsoever that the Leafs were even negotiating with Rielly throughout the season, let alone that they were close or that it was about to be announced. So this is literally just taking me so off guard. But, I mean, as far as the deal goes, mixed emotions. $7.5 million, a lot of money. For 8 years, long term. It's a little frightening to see those numbers off the hop. But compare that to some of the other teams in the league and what they've been signing defensemen. I think off the top of my head, Seth Jones, Zach Werenski, Darnell Nurse, I'm forgetting some, but all signed $9 million plus contracts long term. Seth Jones included, being like a $9.5 million 8-year deal. And so relative to that, you're saving $2 million on Morgan Rielly. That's great. As far as market value goes, Morgan Rielly clearly took less money this year because I'm confident if he were to hit free agency, he's getting more. He's getting at least $9 million. Not because of necessarily the assets he brings, but just because of his comparables and what they demanded and were able to get. Morgan Rielly, to me, has looked a little bit off this season, and he hasn't looked himself for the last few years. That's not to say that he's been bad or harmful to the team whatsoever, but I don't see what he used to bring back in like 2017, 2018. I'd like to see a little bit more of that. Especially in recent games, I have seen Morgan Rielly really show that he's a little bit slower. He's, not back-checking as well as he has in the past. He seems to have heavy legs at points this season. But to what extent of that this year is the contract negotiation being in his head? I'm sure that's an extremely stressful thing to go through. And hopefully that's gone. That's in the past now, and he's able to, feel a little bit more comfortable to be the Morgan Rielly that we know he can be. The one thing to note here is now it looks like the Toronto Maple Leafs defensive plans look to remain the same for the next foreseeable future here, unless they plan on making a change in the bottom four. They look to be continuing with the same defensive core for the rest of this year and probably running the same group, at least for the most part, for the next few years. That is a good thing because last year they showed that they could be successful. Defensively, we were very strong last year compared to years in the past. This year, the team does not look good defensively whatsoever. Our defensive groupings look completely off. So I guess what I'm getting at here is there's positives, there's negatives. 8 years of Morgan Rielly, I love the guy. I love the character. I think he's an important part to this group. I think he's an important leader. I personally thought he was #1 candidate to get the captaincy job before we got John Tavares. So I think it's a great acquisition at the very least for the person. He is a great #1 defenseman still, but $7.5 million, we're already in a cap crunch, and then the 8-year deal. He's still relatively young, so the 8 years isn't an issue in putting him too late into his career. But you're paying him 7.5 for all those years. That's a hefty price. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Like I said, this came completely out of nowhere. I just wanted to pump out my immediate reaction to this. I wish I could say I had a definitive, yeah, that's a great deal, or no, that's a terrible deal. I think it's somewhere in the middle, which, in my opinion, that's a success. So as long as they can make the cap work, I'm happy about it. I like Morgan Rielly. I'm happy to see him stay a Leaf. Let me know your thoughts. The Leafs play, I guess, tomorrow now on Saturday against the Detroit Red Wings. I will be there. They're coming off of a win against Chicago. Let's keep it going. Hopefully this news will again bring some life back into Morgan Rielly and back into the team. So hoping for a win. I'll see you in the next video.